Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So yesterday we got our flee state working for our bat. So if he's coming towards us and we hit him with our spell cast, if we hit him twice, since he has 2 health, he'll turn brown and then fly away from the player. So depending on which side we cleanse him from, he'll kind of fly opposite of where the player is. And hey, what's up, Loki? Good evening. So he'll fly away from the player. We've got a couple of things we want to fix. If we take a look at what we did yesterday, it is not something to be proud of. But in our init for our flee state, we calculate what X word and Y word velocity that the bat needs in order to fly away from the player. So there's some optimizations we can do for this. But we also do the same exact thing over here in the process AI, which is not ideal. And we need to do something like this because when we assign a DX or DY to our bat, our entity thinks it's being knocked back. So our entities are being updated based on their walk speed, not based on their delta X, delta Y. And when we collide with an entity with our spellcast, we assign a knockback to our DY and DX. So what the game is thinking here is, in the init, we assign this exit speed to the bat. And if we were, for example, to take this out just to see what happens, we get the DX DY assigned right away, but then let's see what happens, right? We knock him once, and then when we cleanse him here, he just stopped. He just slowed to a stop. It's as if we hit him with a spell and he had his knockback and he slowed down to a stop, which is what's happening. So I think what we want to do is we need to update our entity to have a knockback field, and once we get collided with and we're hit, we need to be knockback true. And if we're knockback true, that's when we need to slow down to a stop. If we're not knockback, then our DX and DY should just be able to be assigned once, and then we should not slow to a stop. So that's the plan. So if we search for where we get hit here, it'd be in our entity class, self-hit true. Okay. So let's say, okay, we're hit. Let's just say knockback gets true here, and we'll make sure that our entity has a knockback field, and we'll set it to false upon initialization. And then we will essentially, when we go to do our slow to a stop, we do this here. We need to see if our own entity is knockback true, and if it is, that's when we would slow it down. Not player, but is equal to what is it? Equal to true. If knockback is equal to true, then we're gonna slow to a stop. And then if we have no DX DY, then our knockback is set back to false. Now we do have this hit field that we're doing the basically same thing. We could probably get away with just doing if hit. And you don't have to do this equals true. You can literally just ask it if it's hit like this. So you know what? Let's try it with hit, because that's all we're doing is just saying, okay, well, if we're hit, we're triggering some health. Where do we do that? Oh, we do it as we get hit. Okay. So Let's see if we can get away with not doing knockback, because I feel like we can. So we just need to slow to a stop if we're hit, and we don't become unhit until we've stopped completely. So if we're hit, we're going to slow down, and this is for all our entities, including our player. So let's just test. Let's see if let's see, because we're looking for the bats to slow down to a stop as well as us. If we get hit, we do slow to a stop still. And if we hit them and cleanse them, he just flies right away. So let's see if we can get rid of the update here in the AI and see if he still flies away. Because if he does fly away, then we've fixed it. So let's see. Damage flash. Oh, son of a... Yeah, he isn't... Oh, and you know what? If flee, we need to become not hit, right? And that should fix it. So we can say that our self.entity is hit false, so that we don't slow to a stop. We could do it when we deduct our health, but the flee state instantiation should also work. Come on, just fly away. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, he's still stopped. I guess if we were to print this up, this is in hit. Hit is true. Okay, so we are slowing to a stop, so it's telling me that hit is probably still true for some reason, but we only flush it to false if we've stopped moving, if we've slowed to the stop completely. But also, let's try to assign it when we deduct for our change state to our flee state or bat flee state, or where is it? Change state to bat flee. Okay, so let's try this, where if we have no health, let's just become hit false, so we don't slow down to a stop. And then let's see if he flies away once he's cleansed. Self.entity is what we need. The amount of times I've spelled entity wrong is too high. We still need the damage flash. He still slows down. He still has the hitbox too, so that's telling me he might... What the heck? Because he should only collide with us if he's not corrupted, which upon our knit we change to self.entity corrupted false. That should at least turn off his hitbox for us when he's a brown bat. Oh, he flew away. Let's see. Okay, 1 hit, 2 hit, and he flies away. Great. So let's try to see if we can get him to touch us when he's uncorrupted, and see if he has a hitbox still for us, for our player. Let's see. Oh, he's too fast. Okay, let's just assume it's okay. Here's what we need to optimize now. So what's great is, yeah, we got rid of like 20 lines there, but we need to do, we can do better here. So someone yesterday was in stream telling us, sorry, I forget the name, but they said, this is, I'm doing this way too complicated. So we have a bat exit speed, and we basically need to assign our entities dx and dy based on whether or not, whatever side they are in relation to our player once the bat flee state is instantiated. So we can do some simple logic here to say, if the bat is left of the middle of our player, then we know that when he flees, he needs a negative dx. So we can say if the bat's right side, what can we do here? Yeah, we basically just need to say, like, yeah, if he's on the left side of us, he needs to have a negative dx. If he's on the right, he needs a positive dx. Then if he's above us, he needs a negative dy, and if he's below us, he needs a positive dy. So let's do if the entity's x. Now, should we do... Let's do if the left side of us is smaller than the middle of our player. So it'll be our global player x, and then we'll add half of the player's width to that. So if the bat is on the left side of our player, then we're going to assign a dx that is negative, because he would need to fly left. So we'll do a negative bat exit speed here, and we can say else we know we need a positive dx. So we will say positive bat exit speed. Then we can do the vertical, and we'll say if our entity is above our player, meaning smaller than, and we would do if the bottom of our entity is smaller than the middle of our player's height, so it'd be y plus 1/2 of the global player's width. Then that would mean that our bat is above our player, meaning our dy would need to be negative. And then we can do an else and say that our dy would be a positive. Okay, that looks so much cleaner than our old method. Let's see if it works. So we'll try the top left first. So he should fly down to the right once we cleanse him. Yes. Okay, let's try... let's just go clockwise. So we'll try to get him to fly bottom left now. So he'll need to be in the bottom left of us. Nice. Okay, so let's try the top left now. And then we also we can change the red outline that he's got right now for the attack state, because that's just to kind of show us he's in attack state. That means he's, oh my gosh, no. Our player needs to become hit. Oh God, because we're stuck. No. Okay. Yeah. We need to become hit if a bat spitball hits us. So we cycle through our dot attacks table at some point and where do we do it? Right here. Oh, we are hit. We are hit. Okay. Yeah, we are hit. And that is collides with an entity, but that is not collides with a spitball. So we need to find where we get hit by a spitball. So we should have left a little note for us to cycle through. We cycle through, we update the attack, so it might be, what, in the spitball class? Yeah, okay. So we basically, if we collide, yeah, we're not becoming hit here for the player. So we just need to say that our player hit is true at this point when a spitball hits us. I don't know if I'd like putting the hit in the spitball update. I guess it makes sense. Let's see. We shouldn't do the old Tokyo Drift now. So like getting touched slows us to a stop, and then getting spitballed slows us to a stop. So that looks right. So let's see if he can flee to the top left now. So we'll go down here. We'll cleanse him, and he flies top left. So top right is the last direction we have to check. That seems like a much better fix than we had before, so that's good. Shoot. He wasn't quite above us. Like, yeah, we just need to make sure he's above us. Because yeah, okay. So it does work. The only thing is our DX assignment based on the bat exit path isn't calculating or taking into effect the displacement X for the wobble when he kind of swings like that. So that's why he was kind of just orthogonally right to us, and he still flew diagonal down. That's fine. I don't care that much. I just want him to generally fly away from the player. So that seems like it's working. We got our knockback boolean based on the dot hit boolean. We didn't add the knockback, but the effect is the same. So that's good. So we've got two more big things to fix, and it's like right here when we open a treasure chest, the bat flies like crazy. So he just flew all weird. So I don't know why that's happening. We're not updating any of the entities in the pause state. So I don't get why the bat's updating at all. So let's maybe print up in our main even. If we print up values like this current bat's dx, dy, as well as walk speed and maybe current x and y position, maybe we can try to find a little clue about what might be happening. So where is our main here? Okay, so we want to render on screen just some debugging info where we do a print, and we'll just, for right now, we'll just see if we can see hello, and we'll put it at the top left. Can we see that? Might have to be before our push finishes. Okay, so we've got hello. Okay, so let's do... We want to get the specific bat. Actually, yeah, we might not be able to do this in in the main. Because we don't have access to... Do we have access to the scene view? Let's see if we can concatenate to string whatever the map at scene view row, scene view column dot entities index 1 dot x. No, 120. We missed a parentheses. Okay, we might have screwed this up. Dot entities index 1. Let's try to do this in the map. Okay, and then it'll be a self.row. Self.row, self.column, dot entities, index 1, x. That should be our only bat that's in there. Cool. Okay, so let's just say, you know, this will be our x. We can plop in our y. Just a bunch of different variables we can do to see what is happening to our bat when we pause the game by opening the chest and see if we can find anything out. So I would say maybe also the walk speed. And then the dx and dy. Sweet. Let's try this. Hey, Pocket, what's up? Welcome back. Okay. So see how there's no dx or dy because it's just modifying its position based on the walk speed, but when we pause, see what the heck? Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, look at our bat still updating over time. So our entity's position's updating even though the game is paused, which should not be possible because we have, if we look for paused, we can see if we're paused. There is a where is it? Now I'm not seeing it. We have it in a play state and a dialog box. So it's got to be here somewhere. Wow, I don't see it. I thought we were doing a oh, right here. If we're not paused, we're going to update our scene view. And our scene view has all the entities in there, so I thought we wouldn't be updating them. There's got to be some... Yeah, I don't get... Are you multiplying the values or doing the speed update twice? Well... Basically, if the bat is in the walk state, it's updating its X and Y based on its walk speed. So But the thing is, we're not updating our bat entity if we're paused. So I don't get why the values are changing, because look, it's going this fast. And then it goes super fast once we pause the game and open the chest. Because when we run this open chest function, we become paused. Okay. Why do we have this twice? Oh, for the touch detection. Okay. Yeah, why is our bat flying? Now, it's not our dx and dy, that's a 0, and it's not our walk speed, that remains unchanged. So why is our bat entity updating? Because right here, scene view update delta time only if not paused, and paused is a global variable. So if we go into our map and also just print up whether or not we're paused, we are paused. We already tested that, so that our paused boolean should prevent any update for our entities, but not block any update for things like a dialog box, because we need to be able to advance the text and blink the text. So we are not paused here, yet when we open up this chest, we are paused. Do you have to specifically tell it not update if it is paused? I shouldn't. It should only update if it is not paused. That's what I am doing here in the play state. So in play state, right here, I'm explicitly saying if we're not paused, that's when you update. So if it is paused, we wouldn't update the scene view. And let's just take a look at what's in the scene view. Because how did I do this? What did I just do? In the scene view, which is a scene class. So if we go here into scene, our scene has, oh, you know what? Well, that would explain it. Our entities aren't part of the scene. Okay, I think the entities are part of the map now that I think about it. Well, no. We do have an entities table here. Where do we put in our entities? Let's see, because I know they're in a .entities table for the map. So it's got to be in the map. And a scene is a reference to the current map as well as the next map. So that's a thing that's kind of tricky. But our .entities, we have an entity count. We have a tiles table. We have collidable map objects. I don't see where our bats are. Right here. Entities, process AI for the entities. Okay, so if we're not paused, we need to not update our map. Okay, so and then our map is part of the scene. So when we don't update scene view, it should stop the entities because the entities are in the map, which is part of the scene. So if we look in our scene, we should have... Yeah, you know what? I don't know. This is a little weird. Because our map has a reference to the .current scene, or current map, as well as the next map if we're scene transitioning. But when we go to update the scene, yeah, okay, I think we need to, where are we updating the entities? I would think it's in the map, yeah. We reset the original position. We don't really update it here in the scene, though, so let's check the map. And we'll check for entities. Yeah, we do update our entities here in the map. So let's just try. If not paused, go ahead, update our entity. I feel like we've tried this before, but let me just see. So we should only update the entity if we're not paused. So once we become paused, entity should not be updated. And it still flies off. So maybe if not paused, don't even process the AI either, because the AI will also update its position as well as update it. Let's try that. Okay, well, he stopped flapping. So he stopped updating his animations table, but he did not flush. Like, what is going on? Because it's not the walk speed, right? I guess it depends on when we're adding the walk speed, because it's not the DX, so it's got to be the walk speed that's changing his position like that. So we've got to be doing some weird walk state modification outside the entity table or something. It'd be in the bat walk state, right? Bat. It would be bat walk state, I would think. Yeah, so let's check out bat walk state now. And the thing is, the bat, yeah, regardless of what state the bat's in, it's still an entity and it still needs to be updated, so I don't see why. You know, we do... There's gotta be a hidden walk speed that we're doing. Oh, it might be the displacement. Let's test. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Let me just see if we take out the displacement. Yeah, and you know what? I don't think it is the displacement. If we get rid of the displacement, I don't think it'll fix it. Son of a bitch. Well, actually, look, he did pause. So maybe because it's weird in the walk state here, I still don't get why it would update, though. I don't get why, because we're only updating it by its displacement here in the walk state. And the walk state is part of the entity, so if we're not updating the entity, we aren't updating any of the values in here. So why would adjusting the displacement here stop him from updating? Maybe we can reset the displacement X to 0. I feel like that's gonna jack some stuff up. Let's try when we open chest. What would we do? Like, let's just test that when we open the chest, we just set our displacement X for our entity to be 0 and see if it fixes anything, because it's really weird that he stopped updating when we took this out here. So displacement, no, it's open chest. Open chest. Now when we run this open chest, let's do it not for the touch table, but the right here. When on the P press, when we open chest, let's just test that we're gonna reset our displacement values. So we'll say self dot or scene view. It'd be entities index 1 dot displacement x get 0 and displacement y gets 0. Let's see. That is so weird. It does fix it. I mean, it jitters a bit. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Why can't we walk out of the building now? Okay, no, that makes sense. Okay, so it does jar up a bit, like it snaps without its displacement x at this point. See how it kind of snapped? I don't like that. Okay, so at least we found that thing. So let's see. We've got to be doing something sneaky with our displacement x outside of the entity, I'm thinking. It's just in the walk state and flee state we're doing it. Okay. Can you set its walk speed to 0? So the walk speed isn't the thing making it move when it's paused. So even if we did set it to 0, I don't think... I mean, let's try it. Let's see if it'll stop it moving, but I really think it's this displacement X that's been moving it. So what we'll do is let's go back to the openChest and let's do the same thing again with our entity, and we'll say let's see if we change the walk speed to 0. I think we tried to tweak this and it was still flying off. Yeah. It is so weird. I don't get why the displacement would be updating. So this is so weird. Because the only time... Okay. The only time we use this displacement X, other than the spitball, which is necessary to get it tracked to the center of the bat's mouth, the only time we use our displacement X is in the walk state for the bat and the flee state. I did leave this note to do flush displacement X and Y upon nearing a player. So, hey, what's up, Stilkin? I didn't realize you were in here. Hey, so displacement X and Y is like the instead of if the bat is like directly to the right of us, instead of just flying straight left, the displacement, if it's orthogonally right to us, then it gets a displacement Y that kind of makes him zigzag towards us as he moves left. And then if he's above us, displacement X makes him wiggle like this. So displacement X and Y are just a value from -5 to +5 or whatever, and it just oscillates, and we modify our entity's position based on that displacement value. But what I don't get is why it's still moving when we're paused, because we're not updating the entity at that point. So I'm a little confused about that. And even if we were to flush the displacement values when we're in the attack state, that wouldn't fix that he's flying off when we're paused. And it isn't as simple as just flushing all the displacement values upon a pause, because we get that jarring, like it moves the player, because I don't know what we would do. There's got to be something I'm missing here. So we have this displacement X. It looks like we just, for the flee state, we don't really do anything with it. So we probably shouldn't even need it in there. That might create some jarring stuff depending on if our magnitude of displacement is a lot by the time we become fleeing. But in the walk state here, we set it to 0, and then we have this flag to kind of increase the displacement or decrease it. And this is just in the walk state for the bat. And we update, we increase our displacement if we're increasing. If we hit the threshold for the magnitude, we increase false. Now, I think we might have to also reset. Well, yeah, I mean, I would think if we're greater than or equal to this, we would have to also just set our displacement equal to the threshold so we don't accidentally get stuck. And then same with here. If we're smaller than or equal to the negative magnitude, then we're going to set our X displacement to be equal to the negative displacement magnitude, and then become increasing. Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Oh, if he's not in the pursue state, it doesn't screw up, is the other thing. So since he was in idle, it didn't. Okay, why, man? It's really strange. I really don't get why he's doing that. Okay, so maybe, and the thing is, I don't even think the displacement X is even updating over time, but we're updating its position using the displacement X. Oh, in the render, we're doing this. So this is outside the update. So this has got to be where it's happening. Yeah, because look, we displace our position, and then we render, and then we undisplace ourselves. Okay, let's just only undisplace ourselves if not paused and see if that does anything. Because the update function wouldn't render, and we are still technically rendering stuff if we're paused. So that does stop it from flying off, but it looks weird. If we're not paused, we're gonna do that. And it's because, yeah, okay, so we gotta, this is it. We've tracked it down, but we still don't, like, it's weird to me to, okay, how do I explain this? Because, like, we want a path, right? We want a path where our X is being modified by the walk speed to move, like, directly left. But we want it to zigzag. So in order to get it to zigzag, we had this value called displacement X that goes from -5 to +5, and it just fluctuates, and it goes -5, 0, 5, all the float values in between. And in order to render our entity at that location over time, I couldn't figure out how to say, oh, and you know what? I think I'm figuring it out now. Like, instead of calculating this value, we need to calculate just a little bit of an adjustment. We want to, like, literally change. We want to basically add a upwards dy of point whatever the equivalent is over time. Yeah, sine function. We can definitely do that. Because the issue here is that I kept this method of, I wanted to add the numbers that I was generating with this displacement X, and in order to add the number again without exponentially moving it further and further and making it jump, I had to, like, shift it by its displacement again, so that we can re-add the next frame of displacement, which would be one increment bigger. So I think instead of doing this displacement X, we just need to give it, like, a very slight upward velocity for a certain amount of time, certain downward velocity for a certain amount of time, and then we don't have to adjust our entity's positioning based on the displacement. It's just we just displace it as it's going. That's a little strange. Because we have this setup where it's like an eight possibility thing where either the bat's going to fly either diagonally or orthogonally straight towards the player, but it looked so boring when it just cut through a straight line. So I wanted this little wiggle. So we might do our displacement different. So let's try to do, instead of doing this, yeah, I think what I want is a stationary value. We don't scale it by delta time. I think we just assign it to be some little value, and then over time we just alternate how we're adding that little value to our X and Y position. So yeah, I think I might want to commit. Yeah, let's commit before we try this, and then we'll try to fix it. So we do have, where is that? It was in the render function. Okay, so that makes sense. We weren't updating the entity, but we were literally modifying the entity's positioning in the render function. So that's why it was getting all jacked up. Potentially find the direction vector between the enemy and the character Use that movement speed for pursuit direction, and direction vector times the speed. Oh, negative direction vector for the flee away. You know, I've never done anything with vectors yet. You could, yeah. Because what you're saying is basically just calculate what direction you need to move towards that. I mean, I guess that still means it would track the vector of wherever the player is in a straight line, right? So we'd still have to figure out this kind of zigzagginess that we're trying to do. But I agree with you that would be better than the nested statement stuff. I am interested in trying to do that. I don't know if we'll do it. Maybe we have like maybe we'll try to do that. I'll do some research on the vector stuff in Lua and see if I can maybe do another entity with that stuff. We'll do a commit here before, and we'll just say, I mean, what did we even change? Did we fix anything? Oh yeah, we added the knockback. We fixed the knockback for the bats. We need to get rid of this in our map update. So let's do that now before we forget. That's why it's a good always check your git diff before you commit, because there's weird stuff hidden in there that you didn't mean to do sometimes. Really? Okay. And that's a good learning experience for me too, to just not put updating logic in the render function. Let's check our git diff again. So yeah, we added the knockback boolean to our slowdown. We have some debugging render. We fixed a little bug there for the corruption. Added the entity hit. Oh yeah, that's nice. We turned that like 32 lines into like 4 lines. And then I think that's a good move to reset. I mean, we're going to get rid of this here soon. So let's commit bat state render. Let's keep that for now, because that at least cosmetically somewhat solves the pause, and then we'll see if we can fix the zigzag. So let's say that this was fixed, or let's say slow to stop only if hit for entities and player. And then we'll try to figure out this zigzagginess. You can take the vector magnitude, use the sine function. Yes. That is going to be the way to do it. Yeah. That's going to be the way to do it. It's just that, let me think. Because if we have the sine function, it's just a value that oscillates. But what I couldn't figure out is, like, I had this oscillating value. That's what this displacement x and y was. But when we go to displace it, say let's, if it's 0 to 5 or -5 to 5, the displacement, let's say it goes on frame by frame, it goes from displaced by 1 pixel to displaced by 2 pixels to 3 to 4 to 5, and then back down. Since we're displaced by 1, the next frame we go to displaced by 2, that gives us a bigger jump, and then we go to displaced by 3, that gives us a bigger jump. So that's why I was kind of like, I was displacing it, rendering it, undisplacing it, so that the next frame we add the 2, which is an equivalent jump. So I'm just worried about with the sine function that I can't figure out how to make it a smooth zigzag. So that's one thing I'm just trying to wrap my head around. I'm sure there's a, it's new to me, so I'm just not so sure how to pull it off. We've got the sine and cosine function for the spells that are circling us right here. So like we are using some sine and cosine functions for that already. We need to get our damage flash working for our bat too. So that's one of the last things once we fix this displacement. So I say we just have like a constant value that we want to shift our player by. Well, let me think this. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this different. Instead of displacement x being a value, well, with the sine function, use the screen position instead of adding velocity to the movement in a given direction. Just have it use the adjustment value relative to the original vector. Use the screen position instead of adding velocity. Sorry, man, I'm just not quite getting it. I mean, I get the fluctuating sine for the wave. I don't know, it's just a little weird. Let's give us a 0.1 or and just have it use the adjustment value relative to the original vector. Yeah, I'm not quite getting it, man. Let's try to do our displacement x and y a little different here. And we will do this increase, and we'll just do a little timer for when we need to flip it. So like, let's just say, because this is a constant value, we need to have a sort of timer. So displace timer. Okay, so if we're increasing, which we should start off increasing, entity timer. Yeah, we have that. Okay, so look, we start increasing, we have a timer. So let's go and we'll say, what the fuck? Let's go to our displace timer. We will increment it. And we do that by assigning it into our current timer. Okay. What just happened to me? Yo, I'm feeling the sleeps hit me. Okay, so we're increasing, so let's increase the timer. Now, if our timer is greater than, let's just say, on 1 second oscillations, then we're going to become displace increase false. Okay, and then what do we need to do? We need to say we're going to update our entity's position to be its current position plus this constant value. Essentially like a little dx. So we're going to say current x position gets whatever the displace x is. We don't scale it by delta time. Oh yeah, we do. I think we do. Okay, and then we're going to modify our y value to be ry plus displacement y scaled by delta time. Okay. Now we don't have this magnitude, so we don't need to do this, and we already have our display increase false based on the timer. So we have to just reset our timer. Displace timer gets reset to 0 so that we can increment it again. And then here we're doing the opposite, where we decrement. So if it's not, we need to decrement our timer. Then we need to hey, thanks Stilkin for explaining this. I'll try to digest what you're saying there and see if I can implement it soon. So I mean, excuse me. Tonight my brain is a little fried. It's a little late. Okay. Displace increase. Else we need to. I mean, I guess we need to increase display timer no matter what. If our displace timer is greater than 1 and we're increasing, we need to become decreasing. And then if our time is greater than 1, then we need to become increasing. And we reset our timer for both. Okay. Then when we go to update our position, is this the same where we just say modify by the displacement x? And I guess it would be a negative value here. So we would shift it so we get the negative value, so it does this whole zigzag where a displacement, well, I don't know. Okay. So now we're modifying our position based on a constant value over time, which should move us an equal step every second, and then it will unmove us, it would move us in the opposite direction for another second. So that might work. Do we have any other displace x value? Yes. We should turn this off. We don't need to modify our positioning based on the displacement x because we're already doing that. And then when we go and do this, let's just comment this out and let's see if we are zigzagging. We'll see it. Yeah. And Stilkin, one thing that is like so tough is like, hold on. Is it doing it? No, it's not doing it. He's not zigzagging. Oh, no. Yeah, he's not zigzagging. The pause works, which is great, but he is not zigzagging. We either need a bigger value to push us by, or a longer, you know, like if our displacement X is 10 now, does that maybe make it more visible? Whoa. What the fuck? I mean, it's kind of interesting. He is moving really slow, and that's a big problem with this game, Stilken, is like we're everything is literally based on Game Boy resolution. So it's really based on these pixels of like 140 by 160 or whatever. So whenever we try to add these things, it's on such a small scale that it's hard to find good values for these things. Gosh, you know what? It's a weird movement, but I kind of like it. It feels pretty like antagonistic that he kind of like positions himself. I kind of like it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Yeah, you too, Stilken? Like, I couldn't tell you how to program this behavior from scratch, but it's kind of, he's kind of creepy. Like, sometimes he backs away and then comes forward at us and then shoots. It is kind of weird. Now, the spitball is still rendering based on the displacement X, which we should be able to fix. So, you know what? I might keep this and we'll just get the spitball. We might get the spitball not shifted by the displacement X. So let's just do this where we just say, yeah, we're not going to do this weird stuff. Let's just do plus 12 and plus 4. Yeah. And then that might put the spitball right where the mouth is. It's so weird. I feel uneasy when he's chasing us, because I don't know where he's going, and if he's like, you know what, when he's very far away, he does. Oh god. That is way off, dude. Oh yeah, it's the entity's position plus 12. Yeah, so we do have to tweak it a bit, because when he's far away, he does the back away thing a little too much, and it's not very scary. Like, if we're way far away from him, he'll back away very often. Yeah, when he's close, though, it is so freaky that he does that. Oh, that looks so, like when he kind of stops to think. Okay, spitballs are looking like coming from his head now. So that's good. Yeah, okay. Wow. Shoot, man. Okay, cool. I'm liking it. You know, we gotta fix this weird shit. Why did it look... Okay, so when our displacement's increasing, we shift by, is it because we're adding the same displacement X over time, scaling it by delta time? Do we need to do that? Yeah. And then if our timer's past the 1, we become decreasing, we reset our timer. Then when we're decreasing, we are taking our X position and shifting it leftwards by the displacement. Oh. Yeah, because we want to reset the displacement back to 0 if this is the case too. So it's like once we hit this, we need to reset our displacement X and Y back to 0. Or back to, no. Because yeah, if we're shifting upwards, yeah, if we're at like X of 10 and we shift by 1 pixel displacement X every frame, we'd go 10 to 11 to 12 to 13. Then we decrease, then we'd go from 13 to 12 to 11 to 10. So we shouldn't have to reset this here. We should just set our new position to be subtracted by displacement X. And I guess since it is a bigger value here, like 10, it just looked weird. See what 5 seconds looks like? Yeah, I'll tweak that too and see. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's zigzagging. Let's try, to increase the displace timer to be 5 seconds, not 1 second. And just see, and we'll give it a bigger displace value here. Let's just try maybe 3 or something. 3 has got to be too much because on the grand scheme of Game Boy resolution, 3 pixels is quite a jump. Yeah, he doesn't look zigzagging. It is strange. He's like, I don't know. Something uneasy about it, for sure. His 1 value needs to be higher. Are you talking about the displacement or the because and we scale it by delta time, which would be cutting it by 60. So yeah, we would need, if we give it a full 60, that would be 1 pixel difference every frame because we're scaling it by delta time. The one you had set to 10. Let me see. Oh God. Let's try 1 second. And maybe 20. Oh. Why is he doing it? See, and he's not zigzagging. He's not zigzagging. Why? Man, that is really freaky, though. When you're walking around, it's so weird that he does that. But when you're really far away, it looks like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Because it looks, he's like... I think we might have to cut in half the displacement if we are moving it in a, I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Let's just try to put, I think your values are going negative. Yeah, I had it go negative so that it was tracking. Because like when he's directly to the left of us, I want the wave to be halfway in between, right? So like his, wherever the, I don't know what term it is, like between the crest and the trough, needs to be directly parallel to the player so that he goes equally zigzag above and below the player. So that's why I had the negative when we did our initial displace. So like if we try to go about this instead of the minus displacement, which gives us the weird like hiccup stuff, if we could what do we want? Because if his X position is 10 and as he's moving left, we want his Y displacement to go plus 1 pixel, plus 1 pixel, plus 1 pixel, minus 1 pixel, minus 1 pixel, minus 1 pixel. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna... Both of your ifs are the same condition. If we're increasing our displace, I mean, our ifs are same for the displacement timer, other than we trigger whether or not we're increasing or decreasing. Is that what you're talking about? Because we could branch this out. I mean, just because, like, I could say, if not increasing, and then we can do a ternary operator here. Yeah, we can do a ternary there. For right now, I mean, I just want to get it to work, so it's not... Okay, so if we're decreasing, what if we were to cut this displacement value in half? Because I think something to do with... Yeah, because if we add... Yeah, we have to cut it in half when we subtract it, because if we add a 1... Oh, God. Yeah, if we add a 1... Let me think. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious. Let's just try to cut this in half. When we subtract it and see if that helps the hiccuping, the weird hiccuping stuff he does. I mean, this isn't the right way to do it. I think we... I think the way to do it is to do your sine cosine stuff, Stilkin. Yeah, that's jacked up. See, that isn't the wiggle I want. I want a Y wiggle. Why is his Y not wiggling? Why is only his X wiggling? Yeah. I think we got to get rid of this. I think we'll try to do the cosine stuff. To do a wave where he's following the wave of the cosine. I just have to figure out how to... Yeah, I'll just have to figure out how to keep adding the wave values without getting exponentially further away from us. Or not exponential, but just figure out how to modify our path based on the wave. Because this stuff isn't working. at least right now, it should have the direct, diagonal pursue as well as the direct orthogonal pursue. And when we open a chest, he does in fact pause. So that's good. We just have to figure out the waviness, because I don't like that he just flies straight towards you like that. So tomorrow we'll work on seeing if we can get that sine wave working and adjusting his place based on that wave. So that'll be tomorrow, and we will call it a night. We'll say that we have bat pausing upon open chest. Yeah, I think that's the way, Stilkin. I think you're right about that. I think it's gonna be just better. And then, like you said, you can adjust the wave magnitude and stuff once we've got the sine function and everything. Did I do that right? Did I commit? Yeah. Yeah, bat pausing upon open chest. Okay, great. So yeah, we'll call that a night here. We'll run the credits and we'll find somebody to raid out to. Looks like we've got Booyah Grandma streaming. Oh, you know what? Arya is streaming and she raided us yesterday, so we'll raid out to Arya. Yo, thanks for hanging, Stilkin. I appreciate your help. I'll look through your chat log and try to come up with a game plan for tomorrow. Yeah, thanks for hanging. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.